Hazard pay is back on, baby. It's in the third stimulus package as an earned income tax credit of $1,502. How do you qualify for it? If you made less than $25,000 and you're 19 years or older and you worked as an essential worker. But what happened to that old hazard pay? And who are essential workers under the original hazard pay of 2020? In this throwback video, I explain hazard pay, all the news about hazard pay, and the push to still pay hazard pay from private sector. Enjoy this throwback video on hazard pay.
Great news is you're likely to get hazard pay, but how soon would you get it? And why is everything changing this Sunday afternoon? Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hope you're good and safe. Boy, incredible great news across the board on hazard pay and stimulus and everything today, Sunday. I did not see this coming, but here we go. This is Afternoons LALATE that starts every day with the check at 3:30, then goes to hazard pay at 4, FPUC at 4:30, and finally rent at 5. Really incredible news today about the future of hazard pay, as really everything got extracted from the Temple Doom and has basically hit the U-Haul truck and going down the street with a new driver behind the wheel. Who is it? Senate Democrats. Whew, boy. Senate Democrats, White House, Senate Republicans. I mean, just hallelujah. Boy, what is going on and why is this so important? First of all, let me explain what hazard pay is, and then I'll get to the backstory. Hazard pay is that $10,000 would land in your bank account if you worked during the pandemic or are still working as an essential worker. What is it? How much money is it? How do you qualify? Who are essential workers? Let me give you all those incredible details. First, it's $10,000 up to if you worked during the pandemic. If you made, in 2019, gross revenue less than $100,000, you would get $10,000. If you made over $100,000 last year, we at most could get $5,000. How do you calculate it? Very simple. This is all great news. You take the number of hours you worked during the pandemic, times it by $13 an hour, and you get that number. Which hours do you include, LALATE? Well, you include overtime, part-time, furloughed hours, overtime hours, short time hours, confusing hours. You include all hours. What if you don't get paid on the hourly basis? Then you would have to basically figure out how many hours it took you to do the task if you're paid per job. So this is great news. You take that number of hours, whatever it is, let's say it's 1,000 hours, and times it by $13 an hour. Actually, yeah, $13 an hour. What would that give you? It would give you a number. It would give you a number unless you're Larry Kudlow. Then it's like, what's 1,000 times 13? Elephant. That's how Larry Kudlow answers math. So let's take 1,000 hours times $13 an hour, $13,000. Wow. Then you would qualify immediately for the lump sum. Lump sum, yeah, $10,000 right in your account. If you're not at the threshold, then it would basically run up. You would get a lump sum for what you've reached, and then going forward, you'll get the remainder of the money. Really great news. If you're not at the lump sum of $5,000, you would get that amount, and then going forward, you get the remainder. What I mean going forward is it would still pay you $13 an hour going forward. So this is really incredible and great news. Now, as we sit here today, we wonder, okay, is there anything in that hazard pay bill besides money, moolah? Yeah, there is. There's incredible protections that ensure that your workforce is safe, that ensure that your employer gives you workplace protections, that includes stuff like everything from sanitary, health, all the COVID-19 concerns. So it's really important for you. Next, the question about eligibility. Essential workers. Who are essential workers? How many essential worker jobs can I have? What if I quit the job and I went to another job or this and that? Okay, let me go about the questions about jobs because I got a lot of these questions overnight. First, does it matter if you're at the it doesn't matter if you're at the job, fired from the job, coming to the job, having 20 of these jobs, having 2 of these jobs, doesn't matter. All of them qualify. What do I mean? Let's say you worked at 2 different grocery stores. Both of them qualify. Let's say you worked at one grocery store, got fired. Does that still qualify? Yeah. The fact that you've been fired does not mean you don't lose the benefits. The fact that you're laid off doesn't mean you lose the benefits. How about if you were at a job, quit, and went to another job? Doesn't both of them qualify? What if you're at one job and got another offer from another job that's higher and paying money, and you want to go to that one? Will you lose the benefits of the prior one? No. The answer is always no. Just, I'm going to just hold up a no sign like I'm on, the match game. Have you ever gone on a date with no? Have you ever no? It's just, everything's a no. It all is eligible. So don't worry about, I'm changing jobs and I'm doing this. It's all eligible. Really great news. All right, so then we've got that part done. How about which jobs are eligible? I've not done that video for a while. There's a PDF online that has the entire delineation of the HEROES Act, but let me just explain to you basically what it is. It means that essential workers are defined under the bill. This is really great news because you don't have to guess. You don't have to go to the bus stop and say, hey, am I an essential worker? That thing, am I essential? And then they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. It's just like, what are you talking about? Or you're going out on a date with a new girl and she's like, and you're like, honey, am I an essential worker? And then she's like, you don't really work, honey. It's just, you're essential to me, but you don't really work on our relationship. So no, essential worker is not defined by the person you're dating or the person on the bus stop. It's actually defined by the bill. So essential workers are defined by genre. They're really defined by genre rather than task. And I've tried to explain that a lot, and sometimes it doesn't get correlated very well in video. But an example is, if you mop the floors in a doctor's office versus mop the floors in the Gap, does people sometimes look at that task and say, I'm just mopping the floor, why would I get essential worker benefits? Because the bill does not look at the task, it looks at the workplace, the genre. So anyone in a doctor's office qualifies for essential hazard pay. Qualifies as essential worker, gets essential hazard pay. I mean, this is incredibly great news because it basically doesn't want to look at whether or not you mop the floor or clean the handle or actually have a doctor's degree and work in the doctor's office. Is saying all of you, we're not going to go through the analysis of what you're doing in the doctor's office. All of you qualify. This is really incredible, great news. So you don't want to focus on what you're doing, you want to focus on where you're doing it. Got it? All right, so where are the places that qualify? All the obvious ones. Anything health related. Doesn't matter if you're in a hospital or outpatient or physical therapy or home health care or nursing care or social worker, pharmaceutical care, or all those things all qualify. Next, all the transportation people. All my people on the road, trucking along. You all qualify. Uber, Lyft qualify. Truckers qualify. My railroad drivers, I don't have any railroad drivers. Anyone driving the Hot Mess Express today, you all qualify. Airline pilots qualify. Now, when I say those genres, I also mean anyone in that discipline. So remember, everything in the airline industry is essential workers. So the guy on the tarmac that's doing this and doing that, and is next going to do some thumbnails for some videos like this, he qualifies. All those people qualify. This is what's really incredible, great news. How about places where you buy things? Grocery stores, liquor stores, pharmacies, all those qualify. So this is really, really great news. How would you get the money and where would it come and how would it go and where would it go and all that type of stuff. So this is the part that's not so good. And it's, I think it's going to get fixed. And that's what's really great today. And I'm going to get to that in a second. The current status is not very clear who applies for you, but it looks like the employer applies for you. So if the employer is bankrupt, if the employer shut the door, if the employer doesn't have the business anymore, how do they apply for you? Yeah. If the employer hates you and you don't talk to them anymore, how do they apply for you? Yeah. So there's a lot of situations in which I can see that viewers are going to be like, oh, God. Now, I have told you every day at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, hazard pay. Got to talk to your boss and say, hey, are you applying for hazard pay? And I've seen a lot of viewers say, hey, I've talked to my boss. He or she is applying. So that's really great news. But here's the really big news. Let's get right to the details. The details are that hazard pay is going to get twisted and turned, manangled and fangled and maneuvered and twisted by Senate progressives, Senate Democrats, Senate Republicans, and the White House. Because what's apparently now happening, this Sunday afternoon is incredibly great news that the Temple of Doom may keep its doors shut forever, and all the bats and the serpents and the dragons can stay in there and just, watch reruns of Seinfeld. Because apparently no one wants to deal with the Temple of Doom anymore, and they're all going to do it on their own accord in the Senate. It's been well documented over the last couple days that senators, which are not where the Temple Doom lands, that's the House. Senators want to get this done right now. Bernie Sanders, Mitch McConnell, all these people in the Senate, whether Republicans or Democrats, say, hey, enough is enough. Let's get it done. And yeah, you could sit back and say, well, is Mitch McConnell going to give me hazard pay? I thought Mitch McConnell has that liability provision in there that sounds very contrary to hazard pay. That doesn't mean he's not going to do hazard pay with his bill, but they all want to get the stimulus package for you ASAP. And the comments by Mark Meadows today basically said, hey, we're going to get it done, and we're not going to need the Temple Doom. That petty person who I'm not going to refer to by name, you saw me cut myself off there. Pumpkin spice pettiness. We're not going to talk about her anymore because apparently no one wants to deal with her and wants to get this done, wants the money to come out to you, stimulus checks, wants hazard pay to come out to you, and just, there's something wrong over there. Let's just ignore it. So that's the really great news. How soon could you see hazard pay? Where would it be? Does the bank apply for you? Do you go to Bank of America and say, go get that hazard pay for me? No. It would basically be a big fund that's created by the act, whatever act the Senate is doing that day. And I literally think the Senate is going to really finagle everything, call it a brand new name. And your boss would go apply for it. The funds aren't diminishing. So I've detailed that a lot on this channel. So it's not like the funds are there for everyone at any minute. They got to go in and grab that money and grab it fast, because a lot of these bosses have a lot of employees, and a lot of those employees qualify for hazard pay, and the bosses have agreed to get the hazard pay. Moreover, the other concern that I talked about on this channel is unions. If you're unionized, God bless you. But if you're not, those unions are really going to go, yeah, let me just like Anthony Hopkins and Silence of the Lamb. They're like, let me eat up some of that hazard pay real fast and maybe give me some Chianti on the side. They're going to want to grab that hazard pay as fastly as possible because they really understand it's a diminishing fund. It's just not there forever. So you need to ensure your boss gets that money and that gets it fast. Really great news. Thank you for this week. It's just been a lot of fun. I understand. I've seen a lot of your great comments, and it's one of those days that things change very quickly. And I know some people say, my God, just really, and I'm like, just give it 4 hours, it'll be totally different again. And here we go, it's different again. So do me a couple favors, like this video. It's really helping the algorithm. The algorithm is really moving things around a lot if you've not seen it. And I'm still having to deal with some people who today and yesterday published articles that are ranking very high about, one, there's a $5,000 stimulus check going out today. Two, that there's a stimulus bill going to be signed on Monday. So I had to deal with that. And the way I deal with it is you liking the video to get this video higher. And ultimately, like all the videos, so if you forgot to do another video, just go back to the prior video and just hit that like button so that all that crapola just drops like it can go visit the temple too. And also hit the subscribe button and alert button so you get an alert when a new video goes live. Boy, our call to action about a week ago was to add 25,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. We did it in 1 week. So the new call to action, let's try to add 25,000 in the next 2 weeks. Let's try to get to 250,000. We're now at 225 by the end of today. Congratulations. It's been an incredible, great run. Let's try to get to 250,000 subscribers by the end of the next 2 weeks. And as always, stay motivated, stay smiling, stay focused. Coming up next is FPUC. Please tune into that because I have a lot of incredible information for you. And stay with LA for more.